Vladimir Putin strode into town.
Почему раньше здесь не было людей, которые способны были принимать решения? Почему здесь-то забегали все как тараканы перед самым моим приездом?
This is Oleg Deripaska, one of Russia's richest men, a man who spent years operating at the very top of Russian business, is now realizing he fucked up.
Считаю, что вы сделали заложниками своих амбиций, непрофессионализма, а может быть просто и тривиальной жадности.
In 2009, Oleg Deripaska was one of the most powerful industrialists in Russia, controlling massive aluminum and construction assets. A man who had operated with almost total freedom for years. Men like Deripaska were built by the fall of the Soviet Union. When the USSR collapsed in 1991, state factories, mines, and entire industries were sold off in a rushed, chaotic privatization. A small circle of businessmen with the right connections bought these assets for almost nothing. Deripaska was one of them. He turned those cheap state holdings into a global aluminum and construction empire. That wild post-Soviet period gave men like him enormous power and almost no real oversight. But on this day, in this small town most Russians had never heard of, he was being forced to walk to a table on national television and do exactly what he was told.
Это абсолютно недопустимо. Если собственники договориться между собой не смогут, то единый комплекс все равно будет восстановлен. В том или в другом виде, то это будет сделано без вас.
Putin accused the owners of greed. He said they had turned thousands of people into hostages. He compared them to cockroaches, because in a town like Pikalyovo, there was nothing else. The factories run by Deripaska and his partners were the only reason the town existed. Every job, every wage, every home with heat, the entire community's survival and future depended on them. When the global financial crisis hit and demand for aluminum and cement collapsed, the three interconnected factories quickly shut each other down. Instead of protecting the workers or finding any solution, the owners simply stopped everything. Wages went unpaid for months, and even the town's heating was cut off because they refused to cover their debts. That's what turned a normal economic crisis into a full humanitarian disaster for thousands of people.
He demanded the owners, including billionaire Oleg Deripaska, sign an undertaking to restart the factories.
And in that moment, something shifted. For the workers who had lived for months in cold and silence, it felt like hope was finally returning. The factories would start running again. Wages that had been missing for so long would finally be paid. Heat and hot water would flow back into their homes. For the people of Pikalyovo, their survival was no longer hanging by a thread, at least for now. Everything that had collapsed was being forced back into place by one man's direct command. Then he threw a pen on the table and ordered Deripaska to come forward and sign an agreement to restart production and pay the back wages.
Вы подписали этот договор? Да. Олег Владимирович подписал? Что я не вижу вашей подписи? Идите, пишите. Идите ко мне. Да, договор.
Deripaska signed. And when he was done, Putin said coldly,
Classic Putin. But if a country as big as Russia needed a personal visit from the boss to get one factory back to work, then it was in serious trouble.